Everyone, welcome to another lesson. In today's video, we are going to learn how to integrate arrays in and functions. We know that in order to reduce the amount of repeated information in the code, we need to write functions. So simply in the int main function, we call another function or many other functions that do certain things for us instead of just repeating those operations in the main body of the code. To do that, we use functions. For example, if we would like to know the sum of a few numbers, we can define a function that does the sum of two numbers, for example, for us. And every time we call the function, it is going to give us the sum of those two numbers. So this would help us to write down the operations to do the summation only once. However, we can call it several times instead of writing the summation operations several times in the main code. So this is why we actually need to write the functions. For example, here is a void function that we have here. And simply we are just calling the function and everything done, everything else is taken care of. So in this section, we are going to pass an array as an argument to a function, and the function is going to do some operations with this. So what is the operation? We are asked to write a program that prints all the elements of an array using a function. So the statement itself says that, okay, print all the elements using a function. So don't do it in the int main function, but define a separate function. In order for you to review the basics of functions, there are three things that we need to take care of when we are looking at a function. So the first one is the name. Behind the name, it's the type of the function. So it's a void function. It can be int function, float function, double function. But when it's a void function, it is not going to return anything. If it's a function of any other kind, for example, here we have an int, we're going to return some value. If it's a float or whatever, there is a return value to be passed. But for a void function, we have no output. It's just going to do certain tasks for us or maybe print something for us, and that's it. So first thing is the name, then the type of the function, and in the parentheses, we have the arguments of the function that are separated with a comma. So we would like to write a function that takes one array and it's going to print the array. To do that, we declare and initialize the array like this. We learned it before. So we are saying that the name of the array is numbers and the type of the array is int. However, the size of the array is not indicated, but it's okay. I could tell 5, it's okay. But even if I don't tell it that the size of the array is 5, it can determine it itself because there are 5 elements in this array. So it's up to you. You can write it down or it's okay if you want to escape it. Then we need to know the size of the array. So there is a predefined expression in C++ that gives us the size of the array or of one element, one integer, etc. And it's the size of. So using this, we calculate the size of this array. How to do it? This is a formula. So we initialize one integer called size, and we divide the size of the array by the size of the first element. Why do we do that? So by doing this, for example, we are having an array of 5 elements, and when we are calculating the size of the full array, and each element is going to, for example, take 4 bytes of the memory. When we have 5 elements, it's going to take 20 bytes. And then when we divide it by one of the elements, we are going to understand how many elements it's having. For example, assume that each element is consuming 4 bytes of memory. So when we have 5 elements, it's going to have 5 times 4, it's going to have 20, it is going to consume 20 bytes of memory. So uh, on top we have the number 20, and it is divided by the size of element 1, which is 4. Then 20 divided by 4, the result would be 5, which is the number of elements in the array. So this is how we are calculating the number of elements in one array. The total size, the total bytes that are using the memory divided by the first one or any of them, like the second one, the third one, because they are going to take the same amount of memory, each of the elements. So this way we are calculating the number of elements, okay? And we assign it to size. Then we are calling a function and we are passing two arguments. Why two arguments? Because this function is defined and initialized with two arguments. The first element is the array, the second argument is the first argument is the array, and the second argument is the size of the array. So here we are passing as the first argument, we are passing the array itself and then its size. Okay, we are calling the function. We go up here and we enter the function. It is getting the array and its size. So it is counting, printing array elements are. Then in order to print all the elements of an array, we need to iterate over all the elements. To do that, it's easy to use for loops. So we're going to use a for loop, but why do we need the size? Because we would like to automate things. Because of that, we can mention, okay, it's going to start from 0 as the first element of the array, and it is going to go up to the size of the array. Okay, so this is why we need the size. And then we are going to increase the value of I one by one. To do that, let me run the code once so we see the result, and then we continue with analyzing the code. Okay, great. So here it is saying that array elements are 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. It's printing everything. So this is what we wanted. And there is one space between each of the elements. That space comes from here. So let's start by analyzing the code again. So the first time that we entered the array, we entered the for loops, sorry, I equals 0. When I equals 0, it is going to print the first element of the array using this line, ARR, ith element of the array. In this case, because I equals 0 and C++ starts from 0 basically, and we are here starting from 0, therefore it is going to print the first element of the array, and the first element of the array is 10. Okay, then it's going to go up again. We increase the value of I by 1, so I is now equal to 1, and then we are going to print the second element of the array, which is 20, and then again it goes up again and increase the value of I by 1 value. So now this time we enter the loop I equals 2, and we are going to print the third element of the array, which is 30, etc. until the end. So this is exactly what we got as the output here. So basically, instead of doing all of these tasks in the main function, we are just simply calling a function that does this for us. So our int main function remains very clean. So this is the first thing. And the second thing I would like to highlight is the size. So we learned how to calculate the size of an array. So now we know if we have an array of 10 elements, we know how to calculate the number of elements in that array. This is one thing. And the second thing is that we passed the size instead of, okay, calculating, okay, this array is having 5 elements, so instead of writing size, I'm going to write 5. Instead of doing this, we automated things, so the size is simply replaced here. Why? Because every time that you're dealing with an array and you're calling the function, you don't have to change this number anymore. So because you may have another array with the size of 3, 10, 15, etc. So you're automating things, whatever the size is, the function is going to work instead of just manually changing the size here. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we are going to do another coding exercise using functions and arrays.